in this episode, we learn how jumping into freezing cold water can help Lake Martin stay beautiful.
Hey, I wanted to make sure everybody understands on a lake home financing, it's extremely similar to your primary residence, 10% down, and we actually have programs with no mortgage insurance. So the payment on that can be very, very affordable. Many people put more than 10%, and that's fine. But if you're thinking maybe keep a little bit in your pocket for the jet skis, pontoon boat, maybe do some wakeboarding, 10% down, call me today. It may be way more affordable than you're thinking.
Paige, it's just great to be out here on Lake Martin today on this bright sunny day and be able to get outside and enjoy the outside and be able to walk along this beautiful shoreline and not see any trash. Unfortunately, there's right across the lake over here on the land between the lakes, right after the holidays, we always find abusers come in there and campers, day campers, and just trash up the lake. And we always try to go over there and clean that up rather quickly so that people don't have to look at it for the entire summer.
Yeah, that's what makes us so great at Lake Martin is how clean the water is and how clean the shoreline is. And this has kind of turned into your mission, hasn't it? Making sure that it's kept that way.
Well, it absolutely is, because I think we owe it to all the visitors that come here to be able to enjoy the pristine beauty of this lake. It's not only the cleanest lake in the south, it has the beautiful shorelines. We have we have sandy beaches, we have all the things that you want to have when you bring your grandkids out. You sure don't want to go out there and have to worry about whether or not there's broken glass or there's any kind of just trash around there. So it's very important that people, when they use the lake, that they take it with them. Don't leave trash there. And also take a bag with you and pick up what you may see. So always leave it better than you find it. Well, the primary missions that we have is boating safety and environmental education. Of course, you can, as we were talking about, the cleanliness of the lake, educating people why it's important to keep it clean.
Yes.
But boating safety has to be a number one project for us all year round. We maintain more than 440 hazardous area buoys. We replace those, and unfortunately, they get hit. People run over them, and they run over them a lot of times during the daytimes. And they also run over them at night particularly on the ones that are not lighted. And one of the things that we're really excited about is this polar plunge. The polar plunge was absolutely unbelievable for us to be able to be the recipient of the proceeds for the very first Lake Martin polar plunge.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know what a polar plunge is, it's a really nice word for a bunch of crazy people jumping into the water on a frigid day in January to raise money for LMRA.
Yeah, and we're going to, as a matter of fact, the check is going to be presented this week for more than $3,200 that we will put towards adding another 20 lighted buoys across the lake. Right now, that's putting lighted buoys out is very expensive. It costs us nearly twice as much as it does to put a regular buoy.
Well, great job on that. Please keep that up and keep us updated. The second thing that I love that you guys do are the addresses on the docks. Tell us about that.
Lakeside signs. We make those available to anybody. Really, they don't have to necessarily be members. We'd like for them to be members, and we have over 1,200 members over the lake. But when I'm on that subject, the one thing that you don't have to be a member of LMRA is live on the lake. You don't have to be. Anybody can join LMRA, and we need the support of everybody because it is a community, and everybody benefits from this lake.
Yes.
But the lakeside signs are recommended by the Marine Police, and they're very, very important. I know for you to be able, when you're riding around and want to show some property, you're able to find that. But the lakeside signs are available through us. We get them from Lee Marketing, and they do a great job.
Local company. Very
fast turnaround. They give us a great service on those lakeside signs.
Well, thank you so much for coming by. Anything else? Oh, how do we get a membership? How much is a membership?
Well, memberships, we really make that very, very inexpensive for somebody to join. We really want the numbers of members more so than we do the dollars. Of course, the dollars are important because we have a a lot of money that we spend every year on the buoys and cleanups. But the more important thing is to have the numbers that we have, because when we speak, when we're advocates for any kind of issue, whether it be the relicensing or whether it be the water wars, we need to be able to speak for a large group.
Yes.
And so certainly having the numbers as our membership is very, very important.
Yeah.
So $25, best deal going, $25 per year for a membership is just about the best money you can get on this lake.
Okay, well, call us. We'll get you in touch with Lake Martin Resource Association. And you have a Facebook page, right?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
What is it?
LMRA.info. Well, we have a Facebook page and we also have a website, LMRA.info.
Awesome. Check it out. Hey, I am here with Beth for a Lake Martin memory. How do you like to spend Saturdays on the lake, Beth?
I like to just get in the boat and just cruise. I like to ride and look at all the pretty houses.
We have a lot of eye candy out there, don't we?
We do.
Do you have a special area of the lake that you like more than anything else? Any others?
I like it all. It's all beautiful.
That's true. Now, are you a sunset or a sunrise kind of girl?
I'm more of a sunset. I'm not an early morning girl.
I'm with you, and there's lots more boats out there at sunset than sunrise. Well, thank you, Beth, for loving Lake Martin.
Yes.
Well, one thing that always comes up when I'm showing houses around Lake Martin is how are we protected on our primary or second home that we purchase on Lake Martin? So I've invited Karen Chanel with State Farm Insurance. Thank you for coming with us this morning.
Well, thank you, Paige. I'm honored to be here and flattered that you would ask me to come and share this time with you today. And we do have a lot of new things that have come out in insurance. You know, it changes daily. And so all policies are different. But the most important thing is that you understand your policy. And so I'd like to be that resource for you to help you know what's covered, what's not covered, what's your limitations on your policies, and so forth. So,
well, it's different insuring homes on the water than, anywhere else in the world. So what are some highlights of things people really need to know?
Well, you need to know what type of policy you're going to get. You want a replacement cost policy. You want to know if you need flood insurance or not. I'm one of the only full service agencies in Tallapoosa County that specializes in flood insurance. So there's some mortgage companies that require you to have flood insurance. So I'm familiar with the elevation certificates and the processes that you need to go through to obtain flood insurance. And there's sometimes that you get your engineer out there and you get your surveyor out there, and my husband's a retired engineer, so he's very familiar with all the numbers and the forms and the things that are necessary. So he is a big help in the office now regarding flood insurance. So that's just one of the things that we need to know.
Well, lake homes are sentimental, emotional purchases, and people love to put their most important possessions in their lake homes, like this piano, for example.
That's
so tell
true.
us about insuring the interior contents.
Well, you want to have all your possessions insured properly. And there are limitations for oriental rugs, say. Let's say I see 3 or 4 here just in this main area. There's a limitation on most all homeowner policies of $10,000. Every company's different, but on State Farm we have a limitation on that. This is a musical instrument that it's probably, needs to be insured for full replacement cost value. So we would want to schedule that on a separate policy. So if in the event something happened, tornado, whatever, this would be insured to full replacement value. So it makes your contents a little more than the standard contents on a homeowner policy, for example. Say fine art, you want to make sure that it's protected if something falls off the wall and breaks. That's not covered in a standard homeowner policy.
Okay, and real quick, tell us about boats and sea-doos and our water vehicles. Okay. How to insure those.
Well, your homeowner policy does not extend to boats. A lot of people will say, well, I've got a boat. Does my liability protect me on the boat? It does not. There's a certain horsepower. Again, that's specific to the policies, that if it's over a certain horsepower, you've got to have a separate policy on that boat.
Good
so we want to make sure that you have the right liability that will extend if you're out and you're involved in a boating incident, that your liability will protect you there too, because this is one of your biggest investments. So what I like to do is just sit down with the client and review everything with them and just make sure there's no gaps. And you'll believe it or not, people aren't as familiar with their policies. So I offer that service free of charge, and you're under no obligation. I want to be that resource for them on Lake Martin. I know that some homeowner policy contracts has changed over the years, and they have separate deductibles for separate losses, and that makes it sort of confusing. So I like to just educate my clients to let them understand exactly what they have. It's not always about price.
No, well, it makes sense. Name a policy that hasn't changed in the last 5 years.
Right.
So if you are, you know, kind of going with what you have always done or what you've done in other parts of the world, you might want to reconsider and call Karen.
Hi, we're the Robertsons, and we love Lake Martin.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching this episode of Love Lake Martin. And if you liked what you saw, please do us a favor. Share it with someone you know that loves Lake Martin too.